Happy Tuesday afternoon, July. What is wrong with me? August 27th, 2024. Please forgive me. I'm burning on about 3 hours of sleep. Recorded late last night, and then I had all types of trouble getting it uploaded to one platform in particular. And me, as a committed person, committing to the things I'm going to do wholeheartedly, I did not stop until I got it uploaded, and I ended up eating up my night, and I'm exhausted. So forgive me. It is August 27th, 2024, which is hard to believe. It's like there's just this thing about, if you really want to waste time watching just pointless crap, just go to the Kamala HQ page. It's literally one of the most puzzling things on earth. If you ever spend any time on X, you go there, you watch clips from that thing. It is just unbelievably stupid. It's just a catastrophic waste of time. But yet here I am talking about it. So like this. So before I start recording, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I come up with like a document of stuff I'm going to talk about, some links, whatever, clips. Sorry, there. So I'm doing that, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? So I'm like, oh no, I'll check. I got my stuff together. I'll hop on Kamala HQ just to see what's going on over there. And it's like, I'm quite literally dumbfounded. I don't understand the point of what they post on there. So this is a clip here from C-SPAN. It's JD Vance in like a donut shop or something. And the caption says, why don't you tell us more about tone, JD Vance? Because allegedly, this is based off something he said, where it says, Vance, I think Kamala Harris's tone was ridiculous by saying there's an extremely serious consequences to a second Trump presidency. Warning voters about Trump is ridiculous. Okay, let's go. Watch this.
The Zoom has come to town. Thank you for letting us come in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Okay, yeah. She doesn't want to be on film, guys, so just cut her out of anything. Appreciate that, man. I'm JD Vance. I'm running for vice president. Good to see you.
Okay.
How long are you working?
I've been here since the beginning of July
Okay.
for this year.
Okay, good. How about you, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, good. Just everything, yeah. I mean, a lot of glaze here, some sprinkle stuff, some of these cinnamon rolls, just whatever makes sense. How long has this place been around?
About 4 years.
About 4 years? Okay. How long have you been here?
A little over 6 months.
Okay, good. The Zoom has come to town.
All right, so can somebody please tell me what the point of this video clip is? Please, do fill me in. I don't understand it at all. It's this thing where I'm like, what are they insinuating here? Because he's talking to people, he's asking them questions about their job, and he's saying that, you know, he's trying to make a joke. Oh, sorry, it's a little crazy. Like, I may be more tired than I think, because I just don't understand the point of that clip. Somehow that's comparable. Somehow that's him being hypocritical because he said that her tone surrounding Trump being an existential threat to the United States is something that he had disparaged her for. So therefore she's going, well, let's talk about tone here. I'm just baffled. I don't understand the point of this. And this is how this entire thing goes. Like watch this, okay? Okay, so first of all, how many times has Donald Trump been distanced from Project 2025? During the freaking DNC, CNN had one of their anchors go, Project 2025 is not something Trump wrote. It's not his thing. And they're obsessed with pushing it. Like, they just know the people that buy into this stuff are stupid. They know that they're not going to listen to truth. They'll listen to what they tell them. And that's kind of some of the stuff I wanted to talk about today. So, you have, this is another thing here. Okay, well, now look at this. This is a 13-second clip. So this is how they do this the whole time. their entire social media department. This is the vice president of the United States of America who has conjured up some type of social media team to do this. And what, like, this is the best you can come up with? Well, watch this. Look at what this says.
Like I said, we've got some great leadership, like Mike Rogers, who are helping us in this fight. We've also got Chairman Pete Hoekstra, who will help turn Michigan red. Where's Pete at?
Okay, that's 13 seconds of a clip, and it says, Peter Hoekstra is a Project 2025 author. Okay, and this Project 2025 thing is the dumbest thing ever. It's this literal obsession over nothing. There's all kinds of these clips. It'll be like, oh, he mentions like a person by name, and it'll say they're a Project 2025 author, as if Project 2025 is like this, like it's a manifesto, like it's basically like you know, a totalitarian manifesto. So, you know, it's just one of these things where it's like you watch this and it's just they're just trying to force derangement upon the people that are going to vote for them. It's absurd. And it's just like the stupid. You sit there all day and you could just be baffled by how dumb it is. So I thought this was funny here. This is an ad I saw. So I don't know if you were paying attention at all this morning. It started going around. It was some Axios that Kamala Harris's tone on the border wall has completely flipped, and now she's all for it. Imagine that. I wonder what changed. Weird that she's also for no taxes on tips. Huh. Is this what we're going to do now? We're just going to steal. Basically, you know you're going to get smoked in this election if it's remotely fair, if it's remotely legitimate. And so you go, well, what can I do? Nobody knows who I am. Nobody likes me. The fake propaganda campaign isn't working anymore. I know what I'll do. I'll steal his policy positions. Let's do MAGA. Let's run on a border wall. Let's run on no taxes on tips. Let's do the populism thing. Let's do the patriotism thing. These are people that just 2020, before that election, they were completely irate about Trump's stances on things like the border wall, and they ended up selling the border wall. They had it, they had pieces of it. It cost more money to store it. They could have just built it. They didn't want to do that because it would be politically unsound, so they sold it. And guess what? Lucky you, taxpayers, you get to pay for it again. Congratulations. If she's elected, you'll get to pay for a border wall twice. Isn't that what you wanted? I love paying for things twice. I love paying for things that just amount to nothing. It's so great. Like, I love giving billions and trillions of dollars to foreign wars that end up getting stolen by the people that we were at war against, and they parade them in front of our faces in the streets. I love that. I just love blowing money like that. I love when the Department of Defense can just have a miscalculation and an accounting error, and we just misplaced $1 billion, $1 trillion. Sorry, billion. That's like change in my pocket. I'm not even kidding you. I have I'm on the paid writing partnership thing on Quora, and like I get a royalties check from them. I'm hardly even active on there. I've just had a few like good good answers that have gone viral on there, I guess. And like it pays me like $10 a year. And when I'm doing my taxes, I don't think about that. I don't think about my Quora royalty for $10. Well, The IRS sure keeps the tabs on that because they sent me threatening letters because I didn't report my $10 QR royalties, and they also owe them an extra $30 now because of the late fee. But it's okay that they can they can just misplace $1 trillion. It's okay that they can just blow money on a border wall and have the parts sitting in storage, and then we just gotta turn around and sell them. Why not just pay the people to store it? At least isn't that how the Democrats think the economy works? If the government subsidizes things, that makes the economy good. It's Keynesian economics. I'm writing a book on the neoconservatives. So I'm a historian, writer, content creator, etc. So I do like articles, blogging, whatever, to videos and onward. And I'm writing a book about the neoconservatives. And then it led me down the rabbit hole of the Reagan era. And of course, I'm a military historian, economic historian, political historian. So all those kind of align. And obviously social, cultural too. Social falls into what I'm studying. But when it came to economics of the Reagan administration, it was the supply side economics. So they came up with this idea of the Laffer curve is what they call it. And there was this idea that tax cuts were actually beneficial for government revenue, right? Because if you pay think of it this way, if the government were to charge 100% taxes, they would get no money, right? But if you were not to pay taxes at all, they would get no money. So they came up with this idea that there's got to be a middle point where they can maximize tax revenue. This is what they consider to be supply side economics. And it's like, that thing came and went real fast, right? Keynesian economics, which is what the Democrats and our establishment still use to this day, it's this idea that they can create wealth in our economy, create wealth in our society. We can print money and it will make us affluent. That dates back to the 1930s, and he was roasted for that thing back then. And then for some reason, just years later, with the FDR and stuff, World War II, it becomes gospel. We're still playing the Keynesian economics game today. They still think that just blowing money, because it is guaranteed under that system that you are going to have inflation out of control as your debt goes up. Because guess what inflation is? It is the inflation of the money supply. Okay. And you can argue with me till you're blue in the face. That is what it is. I have to talk about this with people all the time. Things that a lot of people consider inflation are actually symptoms of inflation, but actual inflation is inflation of the money supply. You're going to have ridiculous inflation as you inflate the money supply. And we still play the game of Keynesian economics. So we still play the game of like, well, let's just blow a bunch of government money and put it into stuff, and maybe that'll make the economy good. So if these Keynesians believe that, then why wouldn't they just continue to pay the storage facility for the border wall? Sorry, side tangent. But it's stupid logic. Obviously, when you hear it like that, it sounds dumb. But I'm just saying, like, we're going to go through this again. We're going to rebuild the border wall again. We're going to pay for it again. I can't believe this is real life. I can't believe she's whatever. So there's a funny political ad I saw today. That was worth sharing with you. There you go.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread cost 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics. Every day.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. But guess what? The base will not care about that, will they? They'll just go, that's not her fault. She's not president. It's just what's laughable about this whole stupid thing with, we're going to fix the economy. Well, you can do it now. Because we all know Biden ain't running anything. Yesterday, Trump was at the anniversary of a third year anniversary of our catastrophic withdrawal from Afghanistan, and that's when all the weapons and all the vehicles and everything got captured, and people died, and there was an attack, and several of our service members died, and Trump was the only one to show up. Well, Biden's on vacation again, and Harris she was doing briefings yesterday. They're not running the country. She's not doing anything. Give me a break. It's like this idea that it convinced me that Biden has done anything his entire tenure as president, because that dude is on vacation more than anybody on earth. I was looking at a list of like the number of vacation days spent at Camp David by president, and Biden, you know, not that many. It's like 50 days or something. But man, I was looking up the number of days he's been on vacation since he's been president. It's almost half of his term has been spent on vacation. He's on vacation again. He was on vacation like a week ago on the beach before the DNC. Ooh, what a disaster of an administration. And it's just funny because last week the DNC wrapped, and it felt like they were trying to sell us on this idea that, oh, everything's great for the Democratic Party. The ratings were so high when it came to viewership that, you know, they even beat the RNC. And now apparently Kamala is more of a draw for the media than Trump is. Well, of course she is, because it's all concocted. This is the only way they're going to get what they want, is by this manufactured thing. This manufactured, media hype is drawing the eyes of people who are desperate to latch onto this, because because Trump haunts them in their dreams, and they will do anything it takes to make sure that he is not president again. They bought into this so fast. This idea of, I see it all the time online with the MAGA as a cult thing. And there are some people that I would say take it very seriously. They take it too far, and it's absurd. Like, Trump is not God. I've seen people say some really weird things about him and be like, he's like the David of our, the biblical David of our time. He's like our saint. He's not. Okay. And I want to talk about that briefly after this. He wasn't that good the first time, everybody. He did better on a lot of things than any other president that I can remember, but that doesn't mean that he was our savior. And honestly, the rhetoric that he is using seems to be less of what the type of discourse that he had been using that got him elected to begin with. He's not really going. Listen, I understand when the deep state, okay, tries to take you out. Let's just say, because I think we all are very much aware that there's things about this that could be attributed to questionable circumstances. Okay, that likely it seems like it was a plan. You probably take the message very seriously, don't you? Hey, remember that thing that went past your head an inch, millimeters? Well, guess what? That's a message, right? That's what they're saying. So I have a feeling that he is toning down the rhetoric, because also, first of all, he's probably traumatized, as I would be too, and any of us would be probably, taking a bullet that close to the head. And second of all, he's probably terrified. And who can blame him? But I have a feeling that he's getting the message, and I think that he's going to be very cautious even as president. And, but either way, they are, the cult thing, when it comes to the left, how they all instantaneously bought into it the minute she was the nominee. No questions asked. She was somebody that nobody knew forever. One of the lowest approval ratings of a vice president in our history, mind you. And the day she's nominated is the day she becomes a cultural phenomenon. That's just concocted by the media. Does that mean, though, that she's going to be, if we had an election today without any shenanigans, would she win? No way in hell would she win. She would get bodied. It would be like it would probably be like, I don't know, I wouldn't say a Nixon-esque type of victory, because Nixon won all states but Hawaii. She would still get her blue states, but I think it would just not even be close. People are hurting right now. The economy sucks. Culture is in the dump. Things have gotten so much worse under this current administration, and you can't even argue it. Okay, and the only people that will try to argue are the people that say, well, people need to recognize the accomplishments of the Biden administration. Oh yeah, because all your progressive crap doesn't work in the real world. It works in fantasy world when it makes you feel good inside, but the leftist, socialist type programs and the subsidies and the government spending and the regulation, none of that stuff works. Okay, they can't do anything. They can't fix it, because if they're going to go and fix it, they're going to have to basically do away with everything they've ever stood for. As at least in the last, since the Clinton era, probably since Carter. Okay, like, they are relics of the progressive era. We have to take care of people. That's what the government's here for. We can use the power of government to fix all of our problems. And those type of solutions don't work. They never will. Okay, that's just reality. You can't buy your way out of your problems. We are very obsessed with this idea that money fixes everything. It does not fix everything, not even close. It doesn't override incompetence. It doesn't override structure. It doesn't override planning. It doesn't override capability. It doesn't, whatever you want to say it. Money is not going to, you could throw $1 trillion at a problem. It's not going to fix it. Look at what they've done. We've spent more money than you could ever fathom. I wonder how long it would take to count to 30 trillion. Like, forever? I mean, I don't even know. Let's ask the internet. Let's see. How long? Sorry, I know I probably look like I'm a zombie right now because I feel like I am. Would it take to count to 30 trillion? It would take 32,000 years to count to 1 trillion. Allotting to 1 second per number, which means it would take 960,000 years to count to 30 trillion. I don't know if that's true or not, but what if it is? 32,000 years to count to 1 trillion? That's counting 1 second per number. What? No way. There'd be 163,000 trips to the sun before the odometer hit 30 trillion miles. Elon Musk can make about 150,000 trips to Mars before hitting the 30 trillion mile mark. That's insane. That's insane. No way, dude. Oh, it's so weird. We're so screwed. You can't even fathom that number. We'll just keep throwing money at our problems, though. So, that ad is perfect, though. That Bidenomics ad, because she is the Biden administration people. Now, Don Lemon, who is an idiot, went out and did man on the street interviews. I think it was in like Jersey and then Pittsburgh or something. Like Atlanta. It was like places you would expect the people there to be like, "Oh, I'm voting Kamala," And he failed to find people that were going to vote for her, and that's why he's even saying like, listen, I don't think your polling is legit at all, because she is not popular. People don't even know who she is, and that's the thing. I always said that was on purpose, when they found out she was terrible, which was pretty early on, they said, listen, we're going to hide her away. We're not going to talk to her. We're not going to show her to the public. And then when the day comes that we have to replace Biden, which is going to happen, we'll pull her out and we'll act like she was amazing all along. And in our base who are zealots in our religion will buy in to the new leader of our religious sect. So they did that, and that worked for the most ardent supporters, but I just don't think for most normal people that don't live, breathe, and sleep politics, and I guess they don't live, eat, sleep, breathe, Trump is the devil, are not really going to be all that keen on voting for her. This is an interview with Jen Psaki, who I have 100%. I believe wholeheartedly that she hates every just an average American person. She seems like somebody who thinks that she is just better than everybody else, and that because of her with that attitude, she just automatically knows better. But that's neither here nor there. Here's this.
Was there anything? What did they think about Harris? Did they have anything to say about her?
They did have. Listen, it depends on where you are. We went to a number of different battleground states in Pennsylvania, Ohio. We were in Michigan, Indiana, on our way, obviously, Illinois, on our way to Chicago. And it sort of depended on where you were. Pennsylvania, well, I shouldn't say Pennsylvania, I should say Philadelphia, was a bit more liberal, and the answers to the questions about her and him were quite different. But for the most part, in Pittsburgh or in the Jersey Shore and in Atlantic City, in Ohio especially, many people did not know who she was. Right? They weren't familiar with her. So I think she has to reintroduce herself to the public. But for him, I think that they thought that he's better for the economy. And that, again, that he gave them, that he brought money into the community, and or that he was on black people's side.
Was there any...
But, he told them that when they said that to him, they're like, oh, no, things were better. I made more money under him. Things were better under Trump. Don Lemon said, you're wrong. That's not true. You're stupid. You don't know how economics works. We tell you things are good and things are good. Just like we tell you you're safe, and then you'll be safe. And we'll tell you that to think this way, and you think this way, and you'll be happy. Here's this.
About the election.
I'm going for Trump. I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody black in our face thinking that's going to make us vote for the black person.
I voted for Obama because he was black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald Trump.
Why do you apologize?
Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been a fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Because?
Because it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change, and now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person or voting for the first woman. So.
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think they say she phony and fake, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm like Trump saying, what are you, So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it, I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
I'm going for Trump.
Yeah, we are.
Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
So there you have it. He's out there doing the legwork, and he's finding out that they don't like Kamala, and he's saying it's unlikely that she's going to accrue the type of interest that they're telling us she's going to accrue. Well, it's shocking. Shocking that would be. This election. It's like I can't wait till it's over, but I'm dreading it at the same time. It's this, I just don't want it to happen. I can't wait for football season, but then I don't want to watch football games and have commercials be about the election every other effing break. I remember during the COVID when we were all in stupid lockdown, and like we're gonna have a football season this year, and it was like you have to live in a bubble, and there'll be no fans, and it'll be the dumbest football season in history. And I just remember every commercial break would be like 2 commercials. Get out and vote, or make sure you mail in your vote. And I remember during even the NFL draft, going back to April or whatever it was then, it might have been later because of the pandemic, it was just like, this is absurd. I can't even watch this. It's unwatchable with the number of freaking commercials about the election and about unity and COVID. I just want to see when that was, because it was in April. So seemed like it was later because of all the dumb stuff. But interesting that they're basically probably freaking out. And it does make you wonder what they're going to do to pull this thing off, because they are not going to go idly into the night, right? They're not going to just sit back and let this happen. Every piece of our establishment, our government, what have you, is fighting actively against him to ensure that he does not become president of the United States. Which tells you they're at desperate straits to do anything they can to have him pull it off. They did this 2020 because they did the Biden basement thing. They're trying to pull that again. It's just not going to be as successful this time around, because people are starting to call her on this. People don't like Biden as it is. He was supposed to be the return to normalcy. Things were going to go back to the way they were. We were going to be America again, unified again. But it was just more divisive rhetoric and more horrific policies. This reminds me, I've been railing against this. I live in Michigan, so of course I am seeing the whole push back against any questioning of election results whatsoever. You are not allowed to question the integrity of our elections in this state. Excuse me. There's like some type of heebie-jeebies going around up in here. Kid's been sick. It's great. I'm feeling it. Can't breathe. So you better not question the integrity of our elections. Okay, it is now illegal to do that in Michigan. You can recount the votes, but that's it. Doesn't matter if you're watching people stuff ballots into a paper shredder in front of you. You can't call them on that. You can only recount the votes that they have. And this is from our authoritarians in Michigan who love nothing more than to play mini dictator. Here is Michigan Secretary of State in her cool purple suit.
If someone were to violate the law and not certify the election at the local level, we will come for you. So any local certifier thinking of skirting the law and not certifying the vote, don't even think about it, because we'll get
Ooh, scary. Yeah, what a power trip, dude. These people, there's nothing more on earth they love than having their fake semblance of power. You're the Secretary of State of Michigan. Congrats. Whoa, so powerful one. You won a popularity contest. It's not because you're talented in any way. And you are gloating about the fact that you can just, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Well, we do have a constitution in the United States of America, and whether or not your state directs you to, they cannot. You have every right to voice your concern, whether or not that idiot, this alleged freaking thought police officer in the cool purple suit tells you otherwise. And this is just preposterous. They're going so hard in this in Michigan that makes you wonder. It doesn't even make you wonder. You already know what's coming. Okay? Like, the governor is Gretchen Whitmer. The ultimate lockdown governor. If it was up to them, we would be in lockdown to this day still, probably all wearing masks, and they would probably be doing mail-in ballots till the end of the world. I would love to get out of this state. It is turning into another crap hole comparable to like New York, California, Illinois, these leftist states. Michigan's becoming one. We're starting to have laws against, you're not allowed to like, you have to like affirm people's gender. You can't misuse pronouns. It's a joke. And the state's becoming a joke. And I would love nothing more than to get the frick out of here. My wife's a medical student. I'm recently graduated with my PhD. I'm ready to move out of here and go to a place where it's free. We like South Dakota, actually, of all places. Hunters that we are. Farmers that we are. That's what we want. We want land, freedom. We want not this crap, because this is getting ridiculous. So, I wanted to kind of briefly touch on. This is just more stuff, so I'll leave that for another day. It's more stuff about Boeing. It makes me terrified to ever get on an aircraft, honestly, because Boeing is a joke. And it's interesting how Don Lemon interviewed Elon Musk a few months back, and it was like, well, what about DEI? Like, if we lower the standards, Elon says, for industries and for any industry, any job, mind you, things are going to end up worse because we're lowering the standards to allow certain people jobs. And Don Lemon's like, well, Elon, what are you talking about? Because bad things happen in those jobs already. Elon Musk is like, well, I mean, if we let less qualified surgeons operate, more people will die during surgery. And he goes, people are dying during surgery already. It's like, Elon Musk was like, oh, you're stupid. That's why I shouldn't hire you, because you're a dumbass. But you have like, this Boeing situation, and then the military is a complete mess. I've railed on this recently, but the military is a complete mess. Boeing is a complete mess. Look at their astronauts that were supposed to be in space for 8 days are stuck there till freaking February. Think about that. And they're faking like, oh, we're just gonna have to keep busy and be. I would go out of my mind when you're like, all right, honey, I'll be home next week. It's your wife, and you're gonna miss. Think about what you're missing. Okay, you were supposed to be out there for just a few days in the summer. Be home. You're gonna miss like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It'll be Valentine's Day by the time you're home. And you're probably like, I'm never going to space again, thank you. And Boeing is what a joke of a company. And of course, our oligopoly, we can only have a few people in this country that are allowed to manufacture aircraft. And now they have to lean on the private sector and Elon Musk to potentially bail them out. Interesting how that works. It's almost like subsidizing industries, or infiltrating it with the government is terrible for everything. So weird. So, well, my wife just got home. I should probably cut this one here. I did want to just say briefly about RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. I did want to kind of brush on this a little bit more in depth. Maybe tomorrow I can. It's nice that they are endorsing Trump, and it's cool to have that support structure, but you also need to be weary of their positions on certain things. Dave Smith, my guy, I like him a lot. He's awesome, and he had a great point. RFK did make us interested in this idea that, like, hey, everybody in this country is sick. The government should be interested in fixing this problem. We have so many chronic illnesses, all these issues. It's like, well, yeah, why isn't that anybody talking about that? You just feed our people poison. We know that. Who cares? So yeah, I thought that was interesting, but I just want to be cautious when it comes to RFK and Tulsi Gabbard. I don't want, because they used to stand for some pretty extreme policy positions, especially when it came to things like government aid. Right, so then comes handling government aid, government intervention, financial issue, government spending, and subsidies, and the environment, and healthcare. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, before the 2019 primary cycle, she was a supporter of universal healthcare, like Medicaid for all. It's just, we have to be aware that these people, they are going to endorse him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is an ideal scenario where they are they're all around going to just abide by Trump's policies. They'll probably be ardent critics of a lot of it. So, all right, well, I'll jump into that more tomorrow. As for now, I will end this here and be back with you with another video tomorrow. I'm gonna get some sleep, and all right, goodbye.